much for watching part 1 of our video, our wedding Q&A. This is part 2. We're gonna just jump into the questions so that we don't take even more time and have a part 3. Okay, so let's get into the next question. What kind of ceremony do we have? I think we kind of already answered this, but we had a Catholic.
Yeah, we had a Catholic mass wedding. Catholic wedding with a mass at a Catholic church.
And it was beautiful. Yeah. That was honestly, I think, the best part of our wedding.
I think so. Did
everything turn out to your vision? I mean, I've mentioned a few things that didn't exactly go my way, but as far as like the aesthetic of everything, 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10. Our vendors were amazing. My flowers were amazing. And I was so nervous about my flowers because I could not find an inspiration photo for exactly what I was looking for. It's really hard to find lavender weddings with like soft romantic colors. I wanted touches of peach in it. I wanted it to feel like really fresh and gardeny. I could not find any inspiration photos. I scoured Pinterest, I scoured the internet. So I just had to verbalize exactly what I wanted to my florist. And my florist did exactly what I wanted. I did give a lot of communication. I tried to give as many like pictures as possible, but she did exactly what, like everything was so insanely, like what I had in my head came to life. And that is so rare. Did I take my husband's last name? Technically, I actually haven't taken Matt's last name yet, but the intention is that I will be taking Matthew's last name. As you'll see in the next coming videos, we had some pretty crazy life events happen. And that being said, it just hasn't been the top of my list to do. It is something I am gonna do, and I have a deadline for myself to do it. It's just one of those things that I actually have to take the lead. I'd be happy for my husband to
go down to the government offices and fill out all the paperwork that needs to be filled out in order to legally change your last name.
They should make it so hard. It should be something that just like you can check a box. I know people say it's not that hard, so I haven't done anything. I can't even say that it's that hard, but I don't want to do it. But I want to change my name. I want us to have the same name. So I am gonna be Munoz. I don't know if I'm changing my channel name. I have to decide. Comment below what you think. Should I change the name from Mary Scarpati to Mary Munoz? Does have a ring to it.
Questions.
Did you or Matt cry? Matthew?
I cried profusely. Mary was dry as a stone. Okay. I had always, since I was a young man, had always had this vision in my head of when my wife saw me for the first time at the end of the aisle, she would show just a little bit of emotion. You know, I'm giving my life to her, and you know, I love her so much, and she hopefully loves me. So I had always had this vision in my head of my wife when she sees me in my suit for the first time. She, you know, just a little bit of moisture in the eyes.
This is not charming.
Alas, apparently it was just a fool's dream, and so I cried, she did not. What do you think, babe?
I cried a few times on our wedding day. I wasn't super emotional though. I mean, honestly, Matt and I were so close. Like, in a lot of ways, I was a little afraid that it wouldn't feel that significant that we were getting married. Is that weird to say? But we're like, we weren't living together, so we were going to be moving in. Like, there was going to be a lot of changes in our relationship, but it felt so right to get married to you. I've never, like, I don't know, when you meet the right person, I don't know if it's the same for everyone. I know not everybody has the same feeling, but for me, I just always felt pretty strongly, like a few months into us dating, that we were gonna get married. And it's just been confirmed over time. So I don't know.
So what she's meaning to say is that she cried and I didn't.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I cried.
I was kidding.
Obviously I cried because I'm not dead inside like other people.
I did not cry.
My husband.
And she's given me no end of
I said we've already touched on this. It was a little bit disappointing.
She's definitely given me ear beatings or two.
Oh, ear beatings. Oh, good. I mean, really, Matt. That's a little bit dramatic.
According to her, I showed
dramatic.
zero
That's not
emotion.
Exactly true.
According to her, I showed zero emotion.
Dead inside.
Not during the ceremony. Whole wedding ceremony.
Nothing, not during the whole ceremony. But it was actually so nice once we were together. I would say the best part of our wedding day was like when we finally were actually together. Even like from like the minute we got together in the ceremony, it was just really sweet and special. And I was really happy. Like, the whole point of your wedding day is to be with your husband. I don't know who came up with the don't be around each other beforehand. But it's funny because I'm a very traditional person, I think. So I thought I would. But I look back on that and I'm like, I kind of wish we would have been able to just hang with each other, you know? Because the day was about us getting married and I didn't see Matt till like, what, 3 in the afternoon?
Something like that, yeah.
So it's just like crazy to me that we went that many hours on the day that we're like committing ourselves to each other. But it was a really special ceremony and I cried when I went down the aisle, and then I cried taking pictures with my family, my individual family members, specifically my niece Isabella, because she's my niece, so obviously I've known her since she was born, and she's just become such a beautiful young woman, and it's crazy to me like how much she's aged. And like, it's crazy to me that when I was 21 holding her, like she was a bridesmaid in my wedding. That's just insane. So that made me cry, and then when I went down the aisle, me and my dad both teared up. It was a significant moment. It was beautiful. It was really just so beautiful.
It was.
And then I cried when we prayed at the Blessed Mother.
Oh.
Which I honestly, I was just overcome. You know what it is? I prayed so hard for that day.
Sure.
And then, that's the best part about the ceremony. It was like slow, and it gave us so much opportunity to be present with God and like just be grateful to be brought together. Or at least that's what I was doing.
Sure.
I can't vouch for the man next to me.
Yeah, no, I did not cry, and she's given me a lot of hard time about that.
I don't really feel like I've given you that hard of a time, but I don't know why I anticipated that being a thing. Like, knowing who you are, it's really not in your character to do that. So like, I don't know why I had a false expectation of who I was marrying. Like, I knew what I was signing up for.
It's all good.
It
was a beautiful ceremony.
It was a beautiful wedding day.
Couldn't have asked for a better one.
No. It was really a nice day. Thank God for the weather, too.
Oh yeah. It was beautiful outside.
Was the wedding everything you were expecting? I think we've kind of touched on this. Well, I'd like to hear from you. Was it everything you were expecting? Like,
I didn't really have a lot of expectations, honestly. I knew that it was going to be, a beautiful day with a lot to do. That's exactly what we got. I didn't really have like a expectation, I think, of what it was going to be like. I'd say like it was more beautiful than I imagined.
Really?
Yeah. It was a great day. Everything turned out pretty well. The day was great. The day was beautiful. It was a good time. It was a lovely ceremony.
Yeah. I would say for me as well, I think it was so special.
Yeah.
I had high expectations. I was one of those girls that like thought about my wedding since I was a little girl, thought about who I was going to marry since I was a little girl. And in every way, it was so special. I was actually so afraid after the wedding because I had spent so much time and effort planning it that I was afraid that I would feel disappointed when it was over, like sad, because It's only one day. And I knew that. I knew it would be fast and just like in a blink of an eye, it's over. I mean, we're 5 months, almost 5 months past now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It feels like yesterday in a lot of ways. I actually have to say, it was such a beautiful day. It was really perfect, and I had no regrets. I didn't want to I could relive the day, obviously, for the rest of my life, but like, I didn't have like a disappointment or a sadness that it was over. I feel like we lived it to the fullest that we could have, and I was as present as I could have possibly been.
Yeah. And
I'm happy with the way everything turned out.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Did you enjoy the day? Was it stressful?
It was stressful. There's no arguing about that, but it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the day at all.
You enjoyed yourself?
Absolutely.
I enjoyed myself too. The only time I got frustrated at all was how, like, after a while I was over the pictures.
Sure. And then, like, the dancing.
The dancing, it could have lasted forever. I had the best time.
But, like,
dancing.
the dress and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I was frustrated with that. But, you know, like, thankfully, I'm so glad I did not let that go on for a long period of time. Like, my wedding planner, when I went up to her and told her I wanted to change back into my pajamas, she was, like, horrified.
Really?
Yes.
No way.
That's why we did our cake cutting so early.
No, I remember that. Like, 'cause you wanted to change.
I wanted to change, and they wanted the pictures of the cake. So they were like, no, you can't change. We have to do all these things first.
Right.
So I was like, let's get these done. I want to dance. And I'm glad, because I actually got to really enjoy. And I was a little bit rude on our wedding day for the fact that I didn't talk to everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't even try to talk to everyone. You know what I felt like? I spent all this time planning this wedding. I wanted to have fun. I don't see half the people that were there. I hadn't seen some of those people in 2 years or more. So I wanted to see the people I don't get to see and like don't have access to. A lot of people that were there are from Texas, like our friends. I love our friends so much, but like I had people that I get to see once every like 2 years. So I just focused on that, and I felt like a tinge of like, I hope I'm not upsetting other people, because I don't want to come off as rude on our wedding day. But because I did that, I had the best wedding day. Yeah. Like, I had so much fun. I really did not care if I was offending people. I was like, this is my one and only day to be a bride. I want to enjoy myself. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking to random people. If you want to see me, come to the dance floor. And that's what happened. People who wanted to like have a moment with us, they came to the dance floor. My husband didn't dance the whole wedding. Like, that's another thing. People, I feel like, put pressure on us to be with each other 24/7 on our wedding day, and we really weren't. But that's okay. Like, it is not a reflection of our relationship at all. We spend so much time together. Matt's my best friend, but Matt doesn't like doing, like, Matt's not like the world's biggest dancer. You're not a big dancer, and I am. And I feel like people put a lot of weird pressure on you about it.
Yeah.
Like, your relationship's not strong if you don't spend 24/7. And I felt like, I know our relationship's strong, so why do I have to prove anything to anyone? I just want to dance, and he doesn't want to dance. I don't care if he dances. Yeah. I just want to dance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was interesting. That was something that was not expected, was like the pressure people put about us being like 24/7 with each other.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny, I regret not being with you earlier in the day when it was like less people and less things happening.
Yeah.
But I don't regret not being as close to you once the party started.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. Nothing strange about that, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I thought that I've never heard anybody else talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard people talk about like brides and grooms that they went to the wedding and like they really weren't with each other that much. And like that was seen as like a negative thing. But for us, I don't know, we're best friends. Like, I don't feel like we have to prove anything to anyone. But like, I had aunts make comments to us about it. Really? Yes.
I don't remember that
People were like upset about it. I don't. You can't, you know, this is the thing, like, also these people aren't around our relationship all that much. All my family does not live in Texas. So I think maybe it's like harder for people who don't see us together all the time. But like,
The only complaint I had was there was a couple of people who were like, I mean, like I dance. I like to dance. I like to get goofy, but it was outside. It's Texas in April. It's not blistering, but it's not like you can't just like dance around like a monkey for like 12 hours and not sweat, not get tired. And
what's funny is I almost had space heaters.
Yeah.
For that wedding.
Yeah, so it would have been hotter.
I planned the wedding up until the day of the wedding because it was like we were worried it was going to be hot. We were worried it was going to rain. At one point, it was going to be raining. Like that's why we got the tent.
Right.
Because the forecast said on Tuesday before our wedding day that it was going to pour. It did not rain a drop. Thank you, God. At the end of the day, like
a lot of things.
For the forecast to be wrong, I'm glad that was how it was wrong. But
all right, we gotta
keep it moving. Show your wedding bands. I can show. I guess we can show a picture.
Do you want me to get the?
No, it's okay. We can just show a picture. I think it's hard to get like that close to the camera. Sure. What were you thinking when you were walking down the aisle? I was just trying to take in the moment.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful, and I was just trying to take in the moment, and it was. I have like vivid memories of that.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And then did we write our own vows? That's the last question.
We didn't write our own vows, but we did write like messages to each other. We didn't write our own vows because we had like a pretty traditional. Traditional Catholic ceremony.
And I like the traditional vows. Like it's to each their own. Everybody gets to have their own wedding, but I think the traditional vows are just beautiful because it's like ancient. Yeah. People have been saying them to each other
thousands of years.
The dawn of time. I think that's so beautiful.
But we did write each other like love letters, which you'll see in the wedding video. So that was kind of our version of like custom vows. They're not technically vows, obviously, but I mean, there were nice little letters written to each other.
Yeah.
So that was like our version of it, but we did do the custom Catholic vows, and that was something we agreed on. We didn't change that at all.
No, we were
pretty
aligned.
The videographer was like, hey, or maybe you came up with that idea.
The letters?
Yeah.
That was me.
Okay, so Mary said like, hey, it'd be nice if we like wrote each other love letters that could be read out.
Which is hilarious because we actually didn't read them till like 2 days after our wedding. We were supposed to read them the day of.
So she read hers, to the videographer. I read mine to the videographer. But we actually don't know. We didn't read them until after that film was done. So. Yeah,
we read them like 2 days later when we were in our hotel room together, which was really sweet. Like it was actually nice that we just did it together. And there's so much we could say about like our wedding day. I feel like there's not.
And it was perfect. Like we really liked that decision.
Yeah. And I love the letter that you wrote me. I want to frame them and put them in our room. Our wedding day ended up being, I think, really magical, and I'm very happy with the way everything turned out. If you guys want to learn more about our wedding, you can ask questions, and I could do another Q&A. It was the best decision I've ever made in my life, and I'm so glad we got married.
Same.
But I'm so grateful that you guys were here to tune in. Thank you so much. If you've been following along my journey from when I was single and making single content to now that I'm a married woman, it's just crazy because it's like such a big life event that I prayed for so long, and now it's like we're married, But I love being married, and when you marry the right person, it's really easy, I think. It hasn't been an easy couple months, but being married to you, it hasn't been the hard part.
Yeah, absolutely. I love being married to you too.
I love being married to you. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. I make videos mostly about like the Catholic faith and our lifestyle and just sharing what's happening in our lives. I made a lot of my WW content and Weight Watcher content for food and stuff like that because I love cooking. And I'm sure there's going to be more recipe videos eventually coming, but I haven't been cooking all that much lately. And I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye!